Hello, Martin Linden, IFS therapist. I'm just reflecting. Something that I often say in my practice is, we get good at what we practice. Yeah? So if you're a carpenter, you get good at woodwork. And if you're a mechanic, you get good at mechanics. So in IFS, parts get good at what they practice. And they take these roles and they sometimes get too good at what they practice. These protectors are working too hard. And I just find that really interesting in the context of, what therapists do we choose? So there's therapists out there that, are good at writing books. There's therapists who are good at doing therapy. There's therapists who get good at being in the internal world, because that's how they spend their life. There's therapists who get good at in really social, in the external locus of evaluation, locus of control. And if we're doing internal work or internal family systems, IFS, which therapist would you choose? One that is good at being social, getting out there and good with people? In the external world, intra-relational. The IFS is, the external world is inter-relational, sorry. But IFS is intra-relational, internal. So which one would you choose? The therapist that is, very likable, got good at being very likable to other people, and kind of bypassing themselves, their inner working parts, to be in the external domain in a very, very functional way. And I know people like this, and they're very likable and very lovable and all that. But a lot of this kind of thing is where in society, we learn to abandon ourselves to please others, to go along with the social narratives, and very, very kind of typical narcissistic kind of cultural demands, and please the boss and all that. So, make yourself very likable, and that's all in the external world. And when we know in the counselling world, even from Carl Rogers in the 1950s, it's all about helping clients come back to the internal, the intra domain, the internal locus of control and evaluation. That's where the therapy happens. So would you not choose someone who has done that? Spent their life doing that, more of an introverted kind of person. But society seems to demand that you've got to be extroverted. And people choose people who get good at that external stuff when they want to do the internal work. And I just mentioned, this kind of you've got to abandon yourself to fit what's going on, this kind of thinking that we ourselves are not good enough. We've got to lean into something else to be accepted. And it's a fascinating thing, because I've been into meditation a long time, and it seems to be a real trend right now that if you're going to talk about meditation, or this dissolve and getting into your aware presence, and that you that is so calm and subtle and healing, that universal omni, that you've got to be able to speak another language. You've got to be able to present it in Hindu or Tibetan, or you mustn't be British or Welsh. You've got to we've got to have gone to the Himalayas, apparently, because those resources, hello, don't exactly exist inside ourselves, as though they don't exist inside ourselves. We've got to learn it from somewhere else. But what about inside of us? You know? So is this all about the data that's out there that we attach to, or is it about the resource that's inside us that we need to attach to? And where do you practice that? It's just a thought of consideration. Thank you. Go well.